In this assignment, you are asked to practice these specific expressions that use the word other. So we've talked about the pronunciation of other in these specific cases, but I wanted to quickly go over the meaning as well so that you can complete the activity and understand how these would fit into the different sentence frames that you're given. Okay, so please listen to the audio to practice saying these expressions out loud, okay? The first one is expressions or the expression with the other, where you finish this phrase with a time frame. So it can be morning, afternoon, evening, right? The other day, the other night. We use this expression to talk about the recent past. Okay, so this means that I'm not going to say the other month or the other year because that's not really very recent. Okay, so we kind of stick to these times that you have here. Because we use this to talk about the recent past, when you're looking at using it in a sentence, it's important that you pay attention to the verb tense, okay? You're not going to use this when you're talking about current habits or ongoing routines or something that you're doing continuously in the present moment, right? This is something in the recent past, okay? So that's the first one, the other day, the other night, the other morning. Then we have these two that can be used kind of interchangeably, okay? So something or other and one thing or another. And it's important that if you're going to use this expression that you don't mix up the words. It's not something or another, right? Or one thing or other. No, it is something or other and one thing or another. Right? So this is going to refer to something that is unspecified or unknown, right? When we don't know exactly what it is, and maybe we don't really care exactly what it is, right? So it can be when the specific detail is something that is not important or may have been forgotten. And these two expressions can be used interchangeably, right? And it's very similar to saying something, right? So the example here, he said he had to go buy something or other at the grocery store. You could also say he said he had to go buy one thing or another at the grocery store. The same as you could say, and most commonly probably used by you already, is he said he had to go buy something at the grocery store. Okay, just different variations. Next, we did talk about this one in class a little bit as well, each other and one another, right? So this is going to show that interaction or relationship between two or more people, right? We compared this to, this was the reciprocal pronoun where we compared to the reflexive pronoun, right? And we looked at the different meanings there. So if you're not sure about that, a really good example is in your textbook on your table, point number 4 there, okay? So you can look at those examples. Again, these expressions can be used interchangeably. I would say that each other tends to be more commonly used, and one another might sound maybe just a little bit more formal. And another difference that we could say is that each other is maybe more commonly used when we're talking about two people. So you're just referring back and forth between the two, versus one another where there might be more than two people involved, right? So you've got these couple of examples. They speak to each other in French. This might be, right, your parents. Or that couple you know, versus the waiters followed one another into a room. You imagine a line of them, right, walking into that room. Okay, next up, some other, right? Some other is an idiom that refers to something that is not specific, right? It's like saying another. And we're just meaning that there's a different alternative, right? And that it might be one of many possibilities. So have a look at the example sentence. The main road is closed, so you'll have to find some other way to get there. I don't care how, it's any way, right? Some other way. Up to you, right? There are many possibilities, pick one. Okay, so that's some other, similar to another. All right, and I think lastly is every other. Okay, so every other, again, this is an expression that we finish by putting in a little time unit there. Every other day, every other week, every other month, right? And this means that there's some kind of alternating going on. So I go running every other day. That would mean, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe not Sunday, right? So if you have a look at the calendar here in this picture, you can see that every other day on the calendar is marked off with an X. So there's some kind of alternating going on. Okay, so I hope this helps you to complete those sentences below. Remember that you can do this quiz up to 3 times. So give it a try and do your best. All right, thank you so much.